What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency realm because crypto is the biggest, juiciest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. Welcome along on the journey. We're pumped to have you guys here. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here, and just truly blessed to be on this journey with you guys. We're able to stream today. We thought we were going to be kind of MIA going to these events, and some of those got postponed. So we're blessed to be here with you guys today, where we're going to use cryptocurrency as that wealth creation tool and then use real estate as a wealth preservation tool at the right time. And we're just going to change the trajectory of not only our family tree, but hopefully some of our friends too who want to go along for this ride. And it's just been an awesome, time in this crypto land because we've seen the Bitcoin ETF that came to fruition. It did amazingly for Bitcoin because obviously we saw all-time highs before the Bitcoin halving. It's never happened before. And now we see maybe some inclination of the Ethereum ETF. And I really believe, Dane, that it's going to get approved because we saw the SEC FUD the Ethereum Foundation, and I believe, and they did this to Bitcoin, I believe they're doing it so their friends and cronies can go in there and start buying Ethereum by the millions. In fact, RG3 have pointed out he has a way of tracking the OTC, this over the counter, meaning peer-to-peer, without using exchanges, without using liquidity pools. He has a way of tracking. I should have him show me that when I was with him last time, but he was tracking all the Bitcoin when it was happening. And he tweeted yesterday that millions of Ethereum is going OTC right now. What happens, it goes as much OTC as possible up to the approval of the Ethereum ETF. And at that point, there was only so much OTC they can do, and then they're forced to market buy. And that's what we saw with Bitcoin. In fact, we saw Bitcoin dump, absolutely take a crap when the Bitcoin ETF got approved. And then, boom, it mooned, which was insane. And we've never seen that before. So it'll be interesting to see with this new SEC FUD coming to limelight with Ethereum, and see if we're not next. And man, I know our ecosystem is just leverage play on Ethereum, especially with some Greg the Duck who owns 170,000 ETH. Now we don't know what he's going to do with that, and there's no expectations. But even the confidence in the ecosystem with other people buying, with ETH going up, the confidence will go up with our ecosystem just because that's such that Greg the Duck owns that 170,000 Ethereum. He doesn't have to spend it or anything, but that confidence will rise with it. And so it's a really interesting place where we're at today in our ecosystem. Still in a very depressed ecosystem. I feel like we're undervalued. And this should, take me to my next point. We're very undervalued, where something like Solana is, in my opinion, overvalued. You've already kind of saw a massive run up and a pump in Solana, and I'm not saying that it's done, so it's not financial advice, guys. Go buy bonds and stocks for all I care, but I am more confident that the gains will be had in Pulsechain now from Solana, minus some meme coins. Being that you have liquidity over there that has gotten pretty wealthy off their 10 to 20x, whatever Solana's done, they don't mind playing the meme coin game a little bit more and pumping those meme bags. There's a lot of rug pulls and scams over there for what I'm seeing. And so this whole Gophers launch over there could be a kind of refreshing meme coin launching NFT 404 contract. And we'll see what happens and what becomes of it. I did full disclosure, I did a little bit in the 404 just to see what's happening over there. I know there's a lot of controversy. I will say, and I participate because I'm not a maxi and I participate in the other ecosystems, but I believe that he created that out of spite because of EHEX. He is pissed off of what EHEX and Richard has done with EHEX. And it's not just because of the launch of that. I don't know if you saw Dame yesterday. He was posting a lot of fun stuff, and even Motley. And I'll give Motley shout out for this. Motley went on there and he put him in his place, dude. He put him right in check, and he had really strong arguments that shut him up. I was like, holy crap, that was pretty phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, I'm participating just because I'm not a maxi. It does take, in my opinion, economic energy away from Pulsechain. But I mean, I also participate in Ethereum. I participate in some stuff on Avalanche. I'm probably going to participate a little bit in Phantom. I feel like Phantom is still a very depressed ecosystem. 95% of my bags are in Pulsechain, but doesn't mean that I'm not going to go place lottery bets everywhere else. It's my money. I'm going to spend my money however I want. I do believe in this ecosystem, though. This is where I have the majority of my bags, and this is where we onboard to. But if somebody wants to take a lottery ticket and go place it on a Solana meme coin, more power to him. Let him do it. Let him do it. But I know his motives were not so genuine behind it, especially if you go read the comments. Motley really kind of exposed that yesterday. I was like, damn.
Sure. For those of you that we'll give a little more context here. So Dipcatcher on Twitter that's built all the a ton of different things around Hex. He launched a new cryptocurrency called Gophers, which is based on the NFT 404 tech, which makes it so you can sell small fractions of an NFT instead of having to sell a whole one. And Gophers has done incredibly well. In fact, that's been one of my best lottery tickets. I was early on both the East side and early on the Pulsechain side, and those have done really well. And so he went ahead and did kind of like a 2-day, I think it was 2 or 3 day offering where people could send. Yeah, it was like a sacrifice, and he'll use the money to go over and launch on Solana and be able to provide liquidity and do some of those different things with those funds. And man, I think at the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself, like, what are you here for? Corey and I are here to make money.
Yeah. I love
end
money.
Of the day, we're here to make some money. And that's why the rest of you are here too. And so, I think the opportunity to be able to launch something like Gophers that's doing quite well on Pulsechain and Ethereum, to go and launch that over on Solana is really positive. And here's my premise. So sure, like you lose a little bit of economic energy going over there, but gosh, like I think that if people are coming and checking out some of this cool new, NFT 404 tech, it's got a fun little meme character with the gopher, and the price chart does all right, and the community's halfway decent. Well, who is the community primarily composed of? It's composed of people like us. They're like Hex, they're like Pulsechain, that are Richard Hart advocates. And I think it's a cool opportunity to have a bridge there for those people to be able to hear about the other cool things that are coming over to Pulsechain. We have to have adoption, and we have to have it in a big way. And whether the intention was pure or not to go over to Solana, I don't really freaking care. We want exposure no matter what, at all costs. And so I'm about it. I'm for it. I think it's a good thing.
I agree too, and I'm in it because I like making money. But I think the whole we're going to bring liquidity back over to Pulsechain is just a narrative to try to convince people to go. Sure. Because look at Titan X.
I don't think
that's what Titan X was. Let me go over here. I'm gonna 10x my Pulse bags from Titan X. How did that play out? Not too well. Not too many people were able to bring liquidity back. It was also the narrative of like 9inch, when 9inch was like, oh, I'm going to launch on Ethereum to get eyeballs over on Pulsechain. The Ethereum 9inch is like dead. Like it's just dead because none of the Hexicans want to go over there and play. So I don't know, man. That's been a narrative that's been spun many times. I don't believe in that. I believe that liquidity will stay over on Solana because people are going to like, oh, I'm going to want to buy other meme coins on Solana because I was successful here on Solana. Not because I'm like, oh, I'm going to take this back to a Pulsechain where my bags aren't moving. I really feel like, I don't know. I know how people's emotions are. And I do think that's a narrative that people spin. I'm not saying that you're not going to make some money on there. You can go there and get a 10x, 15x, 20x. It's very feasible. But I believe those narratives are false.
Yeah. And I'm not planning on anyone necessarily bringing back money. Where I think it's really useful is to be able to have two communities there that converge to be able to talk about what's going on. And certainly, like if there's opportunities on Solana and people hear about it, they're going to go over there. If there's opportunities on Pulsechain, then they'll come to Pulsechain as well. I think it's just more marketing We don't need them to bring all the money back. I
Now,
think the
me and you,
marketing.
Dane, will like me and you
Yeah.
love Pulsechain, so we bring liquidity back. But I just think 90% of the people in crypto are plebs, and they just don't do that. Like that's not like
And once again, I don't think we need them to. What I'm more interested is the Ethereum or is the Solana guys over there cross pollinating and hearing about Pulsechain through the community that's participating in Gophers. Because
that's
I think
the
that could be
metaphor
really positive.
that concerns me a little. Like, I think we're going to do fine from our own community pumping the bags over there. But like, look at the Ethereum Gophers. It didn't supersede Pulse Chain's Gophers. Pulse Chain was the breadwinner of the two. It did okay, but it only did okay because I think it was only our community. I don't think Solana bros are going to go, oh, let's go buy this, because the marketing that Dip Catcher is able to do is only in our echo chamber. I just don't know that we're going to see an effect of
I
like, well,
disagree. I don't think
it
it,
didn't
and
work
I
on
don't.
Ethereum.
It's done great. It's done good on Ethereum.
It hit 1,200 until the FOMO kicked in for Gophers on Solana. It was like at 1,200 and we were like at 17 on Pulse Chain. It didn't go to like, it didn't do better than Pulse Chain.
No, and I'm not saying that it needs to do better than Pulsechain. What I'm saying is I think that
And I think
green
that's
candles.
our liquidity. It's not like ETH bros buying Gophers. You're saying ETH bros are buying Gophers, and they won't buy Gophers on Pulse Chain? I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe that.
Well, but I'm saying that, like, you're more likely, right? The majority of your bags are on Pulsechain. You're more likely to buy things on Pulsechain because that's where your bags are. No?
Sure. But I have money on ETH. I buy things like Loop Ring. I buy things
Sure.
like I own what's that? Citus gaming token. I own
Sure.
Lithium. I own obviously
But
Zen,
that's
Titan
what I'm
X.
saying
I mean,
though. There's a ton of money over on Solana. It's a far more
I
mature
agree.
chain than Pulsechain. And so if you could create some green candles over there, I mean, people are going to come and they're going to participate on Solana. They just are. I don't think that's going to be only hexagons. And
Oof,
frankly, we need it not to be over
I,
time. And I
I think
think
it
it's
will be.
beneficial. It's a meme coin that it has nothing to do with Hex, has nothing to do with Richard Hart. I think it's a nice, like, tiptoe into that direction. And if
It's
marketing's done
worth the bet.
correctly.
It hasn't. Has not worked before. I think we're gonna pump hard over there, but I think it's because of Hexagon money. That's what I think it is. I think it's gonna be
Oh, it
Hexagon
definitely will.
money.
Certainly initially. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, it just hasn't worked on Ethereum, and we've done this multiple times. That's it. I mean, I see Fat Sammy in here too. I mean, we got Pulse Bitcoin's got a bit of a different story, but for me, Pulse Bitcoin, it's got in its name Pulse Bitcoin. It should be on Pulse Chain, but that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But that's another coin that's on both chains, right? And we probably see a lot more liquidity over on the Pulse Chain side. I've seen this narrative so many times, and I don't know. And I hope you're right. I hope magically the green candles brings the Solana bros to come over and go, oh, we're gonna buy this, and then they buy this, and then they go, oh, what's this Pulse Chain thing? And then they come over to
It's just marketing, right? Like, in
it's
order for
marketing,
someone to
but
get sold on something, they usually need at least 7 touch points before they do anything about it. I think
agreed.
it's just another touch point. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I still think the
Yeah.
only money that we're gonna make over this from us.
Sure. Sure.
Which is fine. Like I'm all for it. Like I said, I put some money in it. Don't worry. Yeah, stop funny, mom. I'm not, man. I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm just telling, and you're probably gonna get a 10 or 15, 20x. But don't fool yourself and thinking Solana bros are making that 20x for you. No, man, it's all hexagons.
Well, I would. Okay, so let's like, I'll be the devil's advocate here. If that, because Gophers didn't do a 20x on Pulsechain
It did
nor
like a
on
10x or
Ethereum.
something like that.
So that's what I'm saying is if it were to outperform both of those, at least in the short term, then that's more than
It's
just
hexagon
hexagon
money.
money.
I would love to
It's
do
more than just hexagon money, because it was just hexagon money that we
hexagons
would
who
have
are
seen it all on Pulsechain.
tired and irritated with Pulse Chain, which it happened in Titan X. Titan X was
Oh,
killing the game in the
initially, right?
beginning.
It went.
Oh my god, it killed the game. They were making so much money over there, like, and it was all our money. It was all our money. Like we're just swapping money back and forth again. And like I said, you can get rich off of it, yes. But don't fool yourself thinking that was ETH bros. That was not ETH bros in Titan X.
There's some of the Zen guys.
Where do those guys come from?
Sure. Sure.
Hexicans.
Sure.
The Zen Bros.
You're not wrong.
Oh my
You're not
God.
wrong.
Freaking Jack 11. Yeah. And I
Yep.
own Zen. Look, I don't mean I got Zen FTs and I'm gonna participate in the X1, but like, it's all Hexicans.
Yeah. This is a good take. Yeah, without a good bridge to go back and forth, nothing's going to be extracted
It's
back.
just a narrative, man. That's a
Yeah, and
narrative
we
because
do.
different pitchers
We need.
pissed off.
Frankly, that's one of the weak points right now. Is we need more bridging capability. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess I heard Portal X, you can do it. I don't know if Dane, you want to check that real quick? Maybe we can check it here on the show.
Let's go look at
I
it.
think Portal X gives the capability. Yeah, like see people saying I'm spot on. Yeah, it's just Hexican money.
It is initially, and I'm not saying that it's all that all the Solana guys are. But also like the experiment's been tried in the bear market. Like I don't think that's a fair use case to say like, well, nobody from ETH came over. Well, it's the bear market. Nobody was doing much of anything. Like I think that the experiment has a decent chance to play out in time.
The shit just fades off in the wind, man. It's just another meme coin.
But I think that's just your bear market bias.
This is we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
and it will fade off in the wind more so on Solana than on Pulsechain, because Pulsechain, you have us all there supporting. And that's why on Ethereum, it was starting to fade off into the wind. If you noticed, it was dropping in price tremendously versus the Pulsechain version because people were not going to go over there and support it. And ETH bros were not going to come and support it either, even though I had green candles in the initial. And then initially they were going to, and we have a very good bridge from Ethereum to Pulsechain. We have a very good bridge. I've seen the experiment already, and I just don't believe in it. I just believe that it's Hexican money. We'll get our 10x, and I'll take my 10x and I'll bring it back over to Pulse. I really will bring it back to Pulsechain. When I say it, I mean it. Like I brought back a Titan X money to Pulsechain. That's probably the only one. There's other people. I know there's other people, but that was a big narrative. And I know a lot of those guys didn't do that. So
yeah, it looks like Portal X swap.
Yeah, I think we can do it there, right? So all you guys who are like, wanting to get on there and maybe take some money back and forth. This could be a good place that we can.
I don't know though. Like if you guys have the trick to the trade with Portal X, I can't get it to work for hardly anything. It says no routes available on anything meaningful that I've tried to move.
What if you do like 1,000?
That's what I'm saying. Is I tried
$1,000 wouldn't do it.
No, well, this is in Sol.
Yeah, you're trying to come back to Pulsechain. You're saying I want to come from Sol to Pulsechain, right?
Yep. Maybe if you go from like let's go USDC to USDC.
Oh yeah. Or maybe Sol to ETH. And then you could bridge. I mean, that's like 2 bridges, but like.
But then I don't know. I can't figure out how to get Portal X to swap to work worth the crap. Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys have any tips?
I'd love to. Let us know if you know how to make this thing work. This was supposed to be one of the best innovative tech from Power City, and it seems like it just doesn't work half the time. I'd like to see them get it together and get that thing operating, because us being interchain operability, or whatever that word is, us having cross chain like everywhere would be very bullish in the long run.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I think this is a fair take too, but this is like, if we want to pick one data point out of 10,000 and point to that and say that's representative. Yeah.
Pepe did a 300,000x in the bear market.
Right. It's crazy.
Pepe is like, man.
This is cool. Oliver, yeah. Post in the comments. I don't know anything about the Tangum wallet. Have you heard of this, Corey?
Yeah, I saw some interviews being done around it. The Tangum wallet is given Pulsechain capability inside of it, which is where basically it's a wallet. I don't know exactly the details of it, but it's a wallet that almost works like an exchange. It's very friendly in that manner, and I don't know the details, but they're integrating Pulsechain into their thing. So also, I think bigger news on this is in the Crypto Coffee in the Pulsechain Foundation.
Yes.
is getting us a listing on the, what is it called, the MEXC. It's everywhere but the United States. It's one of the top 20 though exchanges in the world. They're getting us a listing, Pulsechain a listing on there. They need $125,000 is what I think they need to get it listed for the liquidity and obviously fees. Nothing's free. And I give shout outs to Buck. You gave some money. We thank you for that. We appreciate you supporting the network and driving us forward. And Jesse from Power City, we appreciate you giving money. So it looks like the evil Hex Cabal is the ones who are donating to the cause. Man, so evil, man. We're so evil. I don't know what the heck's going on. So if you guys want to donate, go look over there on Crypto Coffee. He's got the details. I think you get a cool NFT. I'm going to look more into it myself. I mean, even a little bit. If like everyone threw $100 in, we would be there like really quickly, right? If everyone's like, "Hey, there's $100," like I'm going to look into it. Crypto Coffee's my friend. He lives out here in Puerto Rico. And so I'm glad that he's like spearheading this because that's a big deal, man. Going and trying to get us on all these different exchanges and get us listed on places like CoinMarketCap. That's what the Pulsechain Foundation is doing. They're trying to get us more exposure out into the retail space. And so my hat's off to those guys. Salute those guys, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if we can get on there, freaking screw those guys, man. I can't stand them, dude. Like they're the most toxic people. Money game. They're just the most toxic people in crypto. Like go buy the HOA coin, see if it pumps. But like, man, I just can't stand you don't achieve anything in life by being negative and toxic. Like go out and try to create a business and create good entrepreneurial relationships and grow that business by being negative and toxic with your fellow man. It's just, that's no way to live life to me. It's just, that's how you get through life and how you're able to achieve your goals. That's just bullshit to me. You're not part of my tribe. It's just, that's not my tribe. I'm a happy person. I'm positive. And this whole, like, let's just be toxic to everybody. It's just, I don't jive with it.
Yeah. So, I think that they should have attached some meme coin to the MEXC raise, called it AI something, and you get the money easy. They should have gamified it a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah.
Easy
I
money.
mean, they have an NFT, which I don't know the details behind that, or if it's like you said, they gamified enough. Would be cool if that NFT was somehow linked into the guys we interviewed yesterday. What was his name? The Pulse
Wars.
Pulse Wars. That thing sounds fun, dude. Like I'll participate.
Way fun.
I'm gonna do it. Like it would be cool if you had something like that going on to raise the money up to like to get these listings done. You raise the money. Like maybe once you hit 125,000, then there's a pot where everyone can play for beyond that 125,000. There's something that you just keep raising that way. Or I don't know, something like that could have worked. But I mean, they're getting the money. I mean, they are getting the money. I think I'm not sure where they're at now, but and it wouldn't be surprised me if someone like Godwell. I know if Matty Allen were to text out the foundation, Godwell probably would do it. Pulsechain Foundation NFT gives you a Crypto Coffee home phone number. Why? He lives in Puerto Rico. Like, why? I mean, come on, see us. Come on.
Line.
Yeah, like what?
The official Hex support line, Crypto Coffee.
I thought that was Matty Allen's. I thought he was the support line for what is it? Wealth syndrome. Yeah, sudden wealth syndrome.
Yep. Back to this one. I just think I've seen some memes floating around. In fact, I think Sami made one where like, I think that a lot of the narratives need to change in order to onboard more people outside of the Pulsechain ecosystem, going around and telling everybody that they're stupid because they're not buying these tokens that are down 95%. While other people are winning elsewhere, is just like, it's the opposite of onboarding. Why would you want to come over if a bunch of retards, not politically incorrect, if a bunch of people jump over and they want to jump on your back and say, "Oh, your token's stupid," or "What you think is stupid. You should come buy this 95% down coin that you could stake for 15 years." Like it's just that's the opposite of what onboarding needs to look like. In fact, have you guys ever had? I know me and Corey definitely have. Have you ever had your significant other that they needed to do something or make a decision, and you told them multiple times, "Hey, like this is what I would do. Maybe you should consider it." And you could tell them and tell them and tell them. And then they come home one day and they say, "Oh, I went out with my friend, or I was at the doctor's office and I mentioned this problem and they said I should do this. Wasn't that a great idea?" And you're like, "I've freaking been saying that for months." That's the same thing here. Like, you know what I mean? You can be the voice that gives somebody a good idea to come check out Pulsechain, but people are not going to be open to your voice if all you have is a bunch of negativity to spew their way, and and things of that nature. And so I think it's really important that we as a community, that you change the narrative. You could talk about the biggest, one of the biggest ETH holders buying up the community. You could talk about some of the cool meme coins that have popped off. You could talk about, there's so many different cool forks of things that are here. I just think it's wrong to say, I don't think it's positive for onboarding. Tell people they're stupid and instead they should have bought your 95% down coin and staked it 15 years. That's just bad
Yeah,
marketing.
I think we should talk about this one a lot more.
Agreed. Ink is winning. Yes. Agreed.
I think that one can be
Ink's
talked about.
fun. Like Ink's fun to own. It actually does make some moves. Whereas the rest of the stuff, in fact, it's really interesting to see the community becoming more mature over time, and not mature as far as like actions and behaviors, but just older. Uh, yeah, my wife and kids said it's either I choose them or I choose Ink. So, anyways, I buy more Ink today. That's funny. But no, like I think Ink's fun because it actually is doing some stuff. Whereas like, a lot of the Richard Hart things have been a little slow or boring outside of Ink and Pultex. Like Pulse and Hex have been lagging and lagging in a big way. And a lot of people will say, well, those are the opportunity then. I mean, maybe. And me and Corey have big bags. We hope they all run. And I think they will in time. In fact, I think we're going to be chilling on all this stuff over the next year. But Ink is fun. And I think it's important to
It's
talk about the
fun
things that
now.
are actually fun. Yeah.
And we need eyeballs now. And this is how we need to advertise, to your point, Dane. And Ink is a good advertising token right now. Like, hey guys, look at this thing that we farm for free and it's up a 25x. Like, in one of the biggest maxis is a diamond holder. Like, dude, we can so like advertise and lean on our strengths. Like that's leaning on our strength there, right? And people love the green candles and they're here for it. And so that's a good way to bring people in the ecosystem for sure.
Yep, agreed. In fact, I saw a few posts. I actually like this strategy a lot. Tell me what you think about this, Corey. I've seen a couple of people now. Admittedly, they're probably big ink bag holders, so I would say this too if I had a huge position. But one of the thoughts was that if Greg the Duck was going to buy up any of the tokens that he created, or I shouldn't say, he hasn't created anything. We don't know who it is. But if this supposed wallet wanted to buy something up, that the Ink token should be where the majority of that money is focused. Because if you buy that up, you make the farms more interesting,
Yep.
which incentivizes more liquidity. With more liquidity, bigger players can come in without experiencing massive slippage. I
That's it.
actually like that theory a lot.
Yeah. I think that is where I think that game theory behind that there's a lot of truth in that. A lot of truth. Because that's how you're going to advertise. Look how cool our ecosystem is. Look at these farms. They're killing it. And the farms have been sustainable for how many months and blah, 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 like whatever your talking points are now. Right. And so, yeah, that is totally 100% it.
Yep. Agreed. Cool. This is good. I think we covered all the comments up to this point.
Yeah. I like slow and boring for long-term assets in March.
You're in the
Well,
wrong place for that, Archie.
if you want the slowest and most boringest one, and you guys are gonna hate me with this, just go buy Hex.
That's what it looks like right now. The charts don't
Just
lie.
go buy Hex. It's the most slowest and boring one of the whole lot. I own Hex. Don't like. I'm not funny. I'm just saying it's been the slowest and most boringest one of all this. So
Yep.
with enough of volume and adoption, Inc. BTC ratio could be a real thing eventually. That would be wild. Yeah, you're talking about like Inc. going into the thousands of dollars. Although that man, it's just hard to picture it because I know there's one guy. It's and Randy Hilarski knows him, and I know a lot of you guys who watch Randy Hilarski. It's his buddy. He's a shark in all the entire ecosystem, and he makes $1 million a month farming ink. $1 million a month. And that's why when you see these influencer tokens pumping, he just goes around with his ink bags and pumps all the influencer tokens. That's what he's doing. He's buying the Axis coin. He bought Nope up. Nope did like a freaking 5X last night. Like while Randy was streaming, I was like watching. I'm like literally had the chart pulled up and I'm watching this God candle. And I'm glad I didn't sell my Nope bags. I'm like, wow. And it's mooning on live stream. That's because he takes all that money from farming that he gets and he just spreads it around the ecosystem. So it's wild. So like people like that, if Ink went to $1,000 a coin, what is that guy like worth? Or what is he like? Someone like that who's making $1 million a month in today's terms, like we go to $1,000. This guy's like the next billionaire. I don't know.
Is that in one of the stable coin pools?
Dude, he's in all of them. He's in all of them. The guy's heavy. I mean, he makes $1 million a month. A month in US dollar term. It is wild. He owns like 10% of all the supply. He's a Poseidon. So
Of the ink?
Of the ink and the farms. I think he owns 10% of the farms.
He's
And
got
this
to
is
be
a
a lot
guy.
bigger than a shark then.
This is a guy who's not the OA, right? This guy is like, he's it's wild, man. It's wild what he makes in those farms. So I don't know, man. He has to be farming with close to $10 million, as Brizology says. That's probably about right. Oh yeah. So Paul Sachs says, yeah, he's 13%. So like, what is he worth if Ink it's $1,000? I just don't know, man. I mean, he could. That's when it gets far fetched for me.
It's interesting because you could say that about the early Bitcoin days too. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree. I agree.
yeah,
It's like the old saying. They say that crypto can go lower than you possibly ever can imagine, and your brain can't like comprehend that how low it can go and how much you can lose. And we experienced that. And then crypto can go higher than you possibly can ever imagine. And so like there's the numbers and the wealth, and you just can't fathom it because your brain can't really comprehend it. And so
yeah.
like that's one of those scenarios where it's like, man, ink at $1,000 a coin. I mean, I'm for it. Like my ink bag would be nice. Like I would love that. But I know I don't have the biggest ink bag either. Like I'm a lower man on the totem pole on the
Sure.
ink bag hold. My other holdings are way bigger than versus my economic energy in ink. So if I could wind back time, I would have those ratios would be a lot different.
Yes, agreed. I wasn't going to say anything out loud, but it's Norbert that is that Poseidon. So now we all know.
Damn, Norbert, bro, killing the game, dude, killing the game.
Yeah, he probably doesn't need to sell any of his ink. Then he has more money.
He probably
elsewhere.
does, and he probably wants to act as a benevolent well. Some of those guys, that's how they are, right? Once they get to that status, it's like they like to use it for other things, like pumping the freaking Nope token of 5X while Randy Hilarski's streaming. It's like it was wild. I'm just like, and I knew that's why I never sold it. I knew about his friend. I'm like, oh God, he's gonna be like a benevolent well in this, and he's just gonna pump it like crazy. And he does it. He did it to Axis token the other day, and he did it also the Crispy Man's token, the Hex Fire token. He did it to that one. So he just goes around and pump. Dane, we need the Dane and Corey token so he can pump our
totally
token.
Do.
Or he can pump our token and be like,
that's right. That's right.
Reach out to us, Mr. Shark, if you would pump our token, and me and Dane will go create it.
That's right. Well, this has been good. Those are all the things that I wanted to chat about today. Is there anything else that kind of on your mind, Corey?
That's it, man. That's it. Just tomorrow I think we're going to be doing the open mic show. We were supposed to be out of town. Those got postponed. We will be out of town, guys, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So half the week. Next week we're out of town. We're going to be onboarding real estate guys, and this mastermind that we go to, the average net worth is like 10 million. Like, these guys have higher net worths than me and Dane. These guys are absolute beasts. And so it would be fun to onboard these guys. Paul Sex says the Poseidon also lives on the island. Interesting. I wonder if I know the guy. I'm trying to think who was good friends with Randy Hilarski, because some of the island guys out here, they're not friends with Randy Hilarski. So I'm wondering who it would be. That's interesting to know. He lives on an island. Or maybe it's not Puerto Rico. Is it Paul Sachs? Is it not Puerto Rico? Maybe it's another island.
It lives on an island.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Puerto Rico. It could be another island, but
right.
Yeah. Not your island, but an island in the Mediterranean. All right. Well, I don't know the guy then. I wouldn't know the guy. So, but apparently he watches Randy's show every night. And so he's one of those guys probably in the comments. And that's not him.
No, definitely not.
No, I know that. So, But yeah, that's all. You guys, we've been pumping a little bit. And he was in PR. No, but yeah, Young Kim, I know Motley. We've hung out with Motley many times now. We need to hit him up. We haven't hit him up in a while since we've been back. Go hang out with them. But So
all right, cool, guys. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, catch us on the open mic show tomorrow, which would be a lot of fun. And otherwise, we'll see you there.
Yep. See you guys. Peace.